What is good, everybody? Welcome into the Early Edge, your daily sports betting brand of record. I am the coach, and I got to tell you, my sincere apologies, but when we're a worldwide show and we got people all over the world, sometimes it takes a little longer to get everybody on the same page. But we are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all of sports betting, and it's not even close. Now, yesterday, we focused a lot on March Madness. We did not have a lot of picks, but the ones we did, Sixers up 19. You can't hold a lead. Spurs give up 150 points. And then the jam, that was just kind of fun, throwing it out there live, Brett. So nothing serious. But this is very serious. You think you can beat me? Do you think you can beat Chip, Maestro, J Smooth, M Squared? I want you to join our Early Edge Bracket Challenge. $100 Paramount Plus gift card. Plus, you don't know what else we're going to be giving away. But in addition to that, we want you to know about the SportsLine upset bracket. Last year, it successfully helped Rutgers over Clemson, Syracuse over San Diego State. You can find the expert, optimal, and upset brackets at sportsline.com/brackets if you want to dive deep into what we are doing and everything March Madness. So it's a Tuesday. The dance officially starts tonight with playing games. You know what I'm going to do. I'm going 5 wide. Let's bring in the stars of the show. Look at these beautiful people. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Where do I start? Well, I'm going to blow up his spot right from the jump. The reason we are late this morning is because of the guru, Martin W. Green. Do you not have spring ahead in London?
I'm so sorry, guys. Totally my fault. Daylight saving doesn't begin here until March the 27th. We've got 2 weeks till the clocks go forward. So I was just relaxed. I was eating lunch. I thought I had another hour. And suddenly I'm getting all these emails. So I have to run up. Apologies if I'm confusely and I look crazy, but I've made it in just about in time.
I got to be honest with you, Martin. If I thought anybody was going to do that, I thought surely it'd be Buckets. I mean, I thought Buckets would be the man playing some Fortnite or Call of Duty and missing his spot on the show. But no, it was the guru. Buckets, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, everybody. Martin, thank you for showing up. I told you I was already practicing my British accent to help carry your picks, and it would have been abysmal. So I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you made it in time.
I don't know. That might have been something that we could have been entertained by. I mean, Buckets with a English accent, I'm here for it. Now, I know Chip had something he wanted to say. Chip Patterson, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, gentlemen. I just wondered if it took 2 weeks to climb up the big clock to move it. That's the reason why we're 2 weeks behind, because we got to send somebody up there to the very top of Big Ben and move that thing just a little bit. But, hey, man, we're good. The NCAA tournament starts tonight. We've got NIT action. Phenomenal time to be here on the Early Edge with y'all.
And we are so pleased and so honored that you've become such a big part of this brand. So thank you for that, Chip. Now, a man who's been here since day one, and he just had to somehow navigate 6 conference tournaments in his city, live from Las Vegas. We call him Zach Attack. Zach Simony, good morning.
Good morning, folks. Yeah, I was just checking some line movement in this betting menu for college basketball right now. Let's go over this real quick. Of course, you have the regular first half betting action, the March Madness games, NIT, CBI, the Basketball Classic, college basketball point race props, first teams to 20, tournament props, regional props, futures, women's futures. So this menu is huge, and I'm glad we're going to be able to dive into this today.
As Ezekiel Elliott would say, feed me more. Let's go. All right, let's jump into storylines that could affect the betting lines today. And we've got Champions League action, 4 p.m. Eastern this afternoon. But these games come up, Martin Green. We're going to start with you. Whether or not teams are in form, which team, in your mind, has been struggling?
Well, they've both been struggling, Coach, but I would just like to highlight Atletico Madrid's defensive struggles this season. Atletico Madrid have enjoyed a great deal of success by defending resolutely during Diego Simeone's tenure as manager. It's often been really excruciating to watch. They just defend like crazy, they fight for every ball, they kick the opposition into oblivion. It's horrible stuff, but they often scrape 1-0 wins, 0-0 draws, and it's been brutally effective. They've disrupted the duopoly of Real Madrid and Barcelona. They won La Liga last season, and they only conceded 25 goals in 38 La Liga games in that time. However, something has changed this season. They've already conceded 38 goals in just 26 games this time around. They're 15 points behind league leaders Real Madrid, and they've only kept one clean sheet in 14 away games so far this season. So they're liable to concede against Man United tonight. Cristiano Ronaldo, he just scored a hat-trick against Tottenham to put them to the sword at the weekend, and he loves playing against Atletico Madrid, having tormented them during his Real Madrid days. Man United's also really weak in defence. So this looks like potentially a both teams to score game, even though that's the underdog in the prop betting lines. Look forward to breaking that one down a little bit later in the show.
Martin, don't talk dirty to me. You know when you say both teams to score, that's what I love the most. By the way, you mentioned the hat trick by Cristiano Ronaldo. Can anybody tell me who was in attendance at that game that spoke to Ronaldo after the game? Anybody?
Yes, Cristiano Ronaldo is why Tom Brady is back. Everyone is trying to come up with their own theories, but Cristiano Ronaldo, who's just, he's in the Juventus documentary, he's like, I don't need anything. I just need sun. I sit outside for 30 minutes with my shirt off and I'm healthy. I don't take medicine. He and TB12, they've got a very similar line of thinking. I think Tom Brady talked to Cristiano Ronaldo and he was like, I can do this. I can do this too. So whether you're angry or whether you're happy, you're either mad at or thanking Cristiano Ronaldo, because I think he's the one player on planet Earth who convinced Tom Brady to go over the line and say, I'm coming back.
That's a great take. I agree with you. And if people watch the video and slow it down, Cristiano Ronaldo said to Tom Brady, you're finished, right? And Brady goes, and that was all we needed to see. Now, Guru, you used a word that I can't get past in your take, and that was the word excruciating, which I believe is the same word Buckets used to watch a team last week score 4, 5, 6, 7 goals, and then now he's going to have to get a tattoo live on video and roll into the show. So, Buckets, let's come to you next. Because I would love to know what your mind is focused on today for your storyline, knowing in the back of your mind, wherever Mama Buckets wants it is where Mama Buckets gets it. What do you got for us?
Guru, stop it. So, we are going to be talking about defensive struggles on the other side of the Champions League matches here. We have the pillar of greatness in Netherlands, Ajax Amsterdam, struggling to beat even the most kind of iffy teams in their league. Ever since their draw against Benfica Lisbon in the first leg of the round of 16, we have not seen the same Ajax team come up week after week. In their first 20 league games, Ajax conceded a total of 5 goals. In their last 3 league games, they've conceded a total of 5 goals. So they have allowed as many goals in their last 3 as their previous 20. A big part of this is their veteran star goalie, Remco Pasveer, was sent off about a month ago with a broken finger. And his replacement goalie, Onana, has not been able to keep up with the pace that they are used to seeing defensively. Luckily, Ajax is still Ajax, and we are seeing them score 3, 4, 5 goals a game, no problem. But it's a different Ajax than we're used to seeing. And so, similar as Martin stated earlier, we're going to be talking about some possible options here later that takes advantage of their defensive struggling as of now.
So it's crazy. I did not know, Buckets, that you had so much in common with goalies in the Champions League that you both cannot perform with a broken finger. Playing goalie and you playing your video games. It's the same type of
it's
thing.
The synergy.
It's crazy. All right, let's move now from the Champions League. We'll get to those picks in just a second. And now move back right here in the States. It's all about March Madness. Now, Zach Attack, I love about you, and the reason that you feel such a specific role here at the brand is that you're always targeting things that maybe others are not thinking about. Floor is yours.
Yeah, first off, make sure you're buying the half points for March Madness. The NFL, as agonizing as it is, ATS, you have a longer time period to think about doing those bets. March Madness, you've got 3 or 4 days right now. Get those half points, because in the conference tournaments, I'll name off 5 games that were decided by half points ATS real quick. Villanova, UConn, St. Peter's, Monmouth, Rider, Monmouth, Cal State, Fullerton, Long Beach State, Abilene Christian, Seattle, and I'm sure there were several more. When that buzzer goes off, and you lose by that half point, you're going to be thinking of this. But I want to talk about outlier stats for March Madness. You know, these teams play all season long. There are so many of these teams that are at the top of the list, and these are little statistics that can help, not just ATS wise, but just to get past. There's always that one game where a team struggles and they need that little extra emphasis that they're really good at in the final 5 minutes, and they usually get it. Maybe they win by a point, 2 points, win at the free throw line. But I want to go over a couple of teams that excel that you may not be aware of. Auburn, they led the country in blocks per game, almost 8 blocks per game, 7.9. The next best Power 5 school is Arizona at 5.7. You can't teach length, you can't teach athleticism. Auburn has that. When they're going to play these smaller teams in the opening rounds, this could be 9, 10, 11 blocks per game. Turnovers, Wisconsin, they were the best in the country at not turning the ball over, only 8.65 per game. That is just terrific. You can get away. You can get extra possessions when you're playing a team that's giving up 14, 15 turnovers a game, 16. They're going to get extra possessions because of that. And then free throws. We know how experienced Villanova is. They were the only team in college basketball that shot above 80% all season long, 82%.
And that is how you give a storyline. 5 nuggets in 1. Great take by you, Zach Simney. Listen, get out your papers. You can't remember everything. Now, a couple of minutes ago, Buckets used the term pillar of excellence. And that's exactly what I think when I think of the name Chip Patterson. And I think of a national champion. But how do we get there? Chip, talk to me.
Well, first, we've got to rip apart a misnomer in the world of bracketology, in the world of picking an NCAA champion, because you'll hear the term top 25 offense, top 25 defense, and people go back and they sort through previous year's efficiency numbers, and they do find that many of them end up there. But that is not where they were on Selection Sunday, because their numbers improved. So, for example, last year, Baylor on Selection Sunday was outside of the top 25, all the way down at number 44. But what makes your defense numbers improve? When you go up to Gonzaga and you hit him in the chest. Yes. In 2009, that North Carolina team outside of the top 30 in defensive efficiency. Duke in 2015 on Selection Sunday outside of the top 30 in defensive efficiency. This is not a way to pick your champion, but I have the way to do it. It is not top 25 offense, top 25 defense. It is total efficiency margin, because 16 of the last 19 teams to win a national championship in the NCAA tournament on Selection Sunday were in the top 6 in efficiency margin. I call it my Selection Sunday 6-pack, and it is where you want to pick your champion. I'll give them to you now. Gonzaga, Arizona, Kentucky, Houston, Baylor, and Kansas. 16 of the last 19 champions came from that 6-pack. So as you're filling out your bracket, as you are making your bets on the futures, understand that the trend suggests that either Gonzaga, Arizona, Kentucky, Houston, Baylor, or Kansas will be cutting down nets in New Orleans.
All right. Can you do me a favor, please, and tweet that out after the show? Because people don't always write things down. But I think that's a very, very important stat. If you could do that for me, I would appreciate it.
Sure.
All
absolutely.
Right. I can't wait for the day that Buckets wakes up and says, you know what, today I think I'm going to try to get my takes like Chip does. You start slapping himself in the chest. Whoa, easy. All right, let's get into our plays for the day. And unlike yesterday, we've got plays that are actually happening today. So, NIT basketball, Belmont and Vanderbilt, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Vandy laying 3.5. You just heard Zach. Maybe buy that down to 3. Vanderbilt, 62% this season against the spread as a favorite. They've really been coming on as of late. They've covered in 7 of their last 8 games. They had Kentucky on the ropes until late in their last game. So we'll take Vanderbilt, both of these teams. They don't even have to get on a plane. Hell, they might not even have to get on a bus. They both play in Nashville, Tennessee, the home of M Squared and, of course, Dial Up. All right, now, we love the Champions League. We love when we have a chance, any excuse to get Martin W. Green, the guru, on the show. So the first spot is so coveted. Buckets, you don't get it today. You don't get it today. This is all about the man who didn't know what time the show started, but he always comes prepared. Martin W. Green, start us off.
Thank you for that rousing introduction, Coach. I love it. Champions League second leg is always a bit difficult because you've got the aggregate score line and it can wreak havoc with teams' motivation levels. But the game between Man United and Atletico Madrid, like I mentioned, is delicately poised at 1-1 after the first leg. As I mentioned, Atletico Madrid have only kept one clean sheet on the road in 14 La Liga games this season. They could struggle against the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, Jadon Sancho, all the stellar Man United forwards. United have conceded 6 goals in their last 2 games, though. That was a 4-1 defeat to Man City and a 3-2 win against Spurs at the weekend. So I think they're liable to concede as well. Both teams to score, therefore, looks great in this one. It's priced at -105 if you shop around for your odds, making it the underdog. But I like the look of it. If you look at my article on SportsLine as well, I also gave a little pick on Cristiano Ronaldo to get on the score sheet at +175 because he's just in great form right now. He's the all-time leading scorer in the Champions League, and his favourite opponent is actually Atletico Madrid. He scored loads of goals against them during his career. The other game is 2-2 on aggregate between Ajax and Benfica. It was a really entertaining first leg in Lisbon, but now you've got Ajax are the really heavy favourites to win this second leg. They should be able to get the job done against an ageing Benfica defence. However, Benfica are strong in attack too, and Ajax have actually conceded 6 goals now in their last 3 league games. So I expect the Portuguese team to get on the score sheet in this one. It's quite interesting if you look at the odds. Ajax to win is just -270. Both teams to score is -180. So they're both kind of expected to come in at those odds. But if you put the two of them together, you're left with same game parlay odds of +125. Which looks appealing. It's because Ajax are deemed less likely to win if both teams do indeed score. But I think a 2-1 or a 3-1 win to Ajax looks likely. Not going to go huge with my stake at +125, but I think it looks like an appealing same-game parlay. So that's my second play of the day.
No, educate and entertain. We tell you all the time, how do you bring the numbers down to play with them? Martin just laid it out perfectly for all of you incredible soccer bettors out there. Now, up next, I'm going to come to Buckets. Now, Buckets, before you get to your 2 picks, I'm very interested to know how you feel about the Man United Atletico, both teams to score play that Martin just gave out. Talk to me.
It is hard to go against Martin in anything, and this is just one of those things where I absolutely agree with him. Cristiano Ronaldo came out looking red hot, and that momentum is going to carry into his favorite matchup against Atletico Madrid. That being said, both teams are just doing nothing but conceding lately, and their defenses have not been able to hold up in league play, and they certainly have not held up in international play. So I love that BTTS pick as well.
Okay, so Buckets, you can actually go ahead and give your picks too. You're allowed to do that.
Okay,
so go ahead.
I can do that, and I will do that. So we're going to talk about Ajax again. We mentioned their defensive struggle, but we did not mention the offensive brilliance that we've seen out of Sebastian Haller. He is the top scorer in all of Eredivisie, and he is currently the second top scorer in all of Champions League. With 11 goals over 7 Champions League games, he has scored in his last 3 games, including a goal in his last match against Benfica. So him anytime goal score odds at -135 as of this morning looks phenomenal. So that's going to be my first pick. And then we're switching it up entirely, going to France's League 2, which starts at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. 2 p.m. Remember.
Got it.
We are taking Toulouse versus Amiens SC. Toulouse is the #1 team in all of France's 2nd division, and they are coming off of what a lot of people are calling the most embarrassing loss in all of League 2 play this year. They got absolutely demolished 4-1 by a Canes team that had no reason putting up those kind of numbers against them. So they are going to be upset. They're going to be coming into this game looking for revenge. They have scored more than 2 in 5 of their last 6 matches and should have no problem doing that again today. So Toulouse team total over 1.5 at odds of -130 is going to be my second pick here.
Can I talk now, Buck?
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
I can go now. Okay, I can go now. Okay, great. I don't know why the train always gets off the track whenever Martin and Buckets are on. I can't figure it out. But I'm here for it because I'm having a ball. Now, let's get it back onto the track. I don't have to tell Zach when to talk. I don't have to tell Zach when to give out his pick. He always just knows. Zach, you're up next.
Yeah, I'm going to go with one of the playing games today, Coach. Texas Southern, like I said, we're going to buy the half points, at least in these opening rounds. I'd recommend buying these half points. So it is 3.5 right now. We're going to buy that half point to 3 at -125 against Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Texas A&M Corpus Christi, they won all 3 games, obviously, in the Southland Conference tournament, and they were unchallenged. All blowouts in all 3 of those games. And surprisingly, they were a 5.5-point underdog against Nichols and a 2.5-point underdog in the championship game against Southeast Louisiana. I'm always leery of teams that are not challenged in their conference tournaments, especially in those smaller conferences. And strength of schedule matters. Texas Southern, they had one of the more challenging non-conference schedules this year. They played Oregon, St. Mary's, Washington, BYU, a good Louisiana Tech team, and they even beat Florida. And then you're going to remember this Texas Southern team. It does ring a bell because last year they were in this same scenario in the playing game in which they beat Mount St. Mary's 60-52. Let's take Texas Southern with that half-point purchase at -3.
Man, I really, really love these playing games on Tuesdays. They're always tight, 4 or 5-point games. Very important to buy that half point. But we know, Zach, somewhere in Nashville, Tennessee, M Squared's head is just blowing off it. No. Everybody's got their thing. Now, for all of you who are here every single day, you know how coveted the final spot is. For those of you who are brand new, welcome to the Early Edge. We're here every single day, 7 days a week. But the maestro made this spot what it is today. And so it's so very important to put it on your shoulders, put it on your back. And today, the one man that I know can pull it off with a pick from the NIT and a pick from the play-in game is my man, Chip. Chip, what do you got?
Oh, I got pots of coffee because we're going to be up late. Let's start with the second game in Dayton in the first 4. It is going to be the battle between Indiana and Wyoming, 2 12 seeds. Tip off around 9-10 Eastern time on True TV, or of course you can stream it Paramount Plus and CBSSports.com. Bing! We are going to be on the dog here. We have an incredible opportunity where you're looking at Wyoming and the way that they didn't play their best basketball over the last 7-8 games. Indiana, of course, ripping off a couple huge wins to be able to cement their spot in the NCAA tournament. Indiana is going to be getting a lot of attention. They have been getting a lot of the money. And I love Zach's point about buying the half points because I'm also attacking this from the other angle where I cannot trust Indiana by more than 1 possession. I've been mentioning this a lot in the NCAA tournament discussions that we've had on the Early Edge, and I will continue. But I think about these games in terms of the way they're going to play out, the strategies that coaches are going to employ. And if I think that there's any way that Wyoming can hang in this game, then I love being able to get the value here. And I do believe they can do it because Graham Ike down low is an absolute monster. I think he can help neutralize Trace Jackson Davis. Wyoming also has a 6'7" point guard. Yeah, 6'7" point guard named Hunter Maldonado that I think can carve up Indiana's defense. So I will be on the Cowboys. And I will be taking those points. So that's 9-10 Eastern time on True TV. Then our late night tip, we're going out 11 p.m. Eastern time, NIT action in Boulder, Colorado. I will be taking the Buffs. I will be laying the points against St. Bonaventure. St. Bonaventure tried to make a late season push to bring themselves into contention for potentially an NCAA tournament. And then all of a sudden they're one and done in the Atlantic 10 tournament. In general, I did not think Mark Schmidt's team was up to the standard that I've seen this year. Colorado's been a good team. Jabari Walker's been one of my favorite forwards in the Pac-12. And then we remember the way that they took down Arizona at home. St. Bonaventure, where's your motivation? You're playing at the elevation. So I think with home court, that's right, NIT, home court matters. So with home court and a higher quality of play, I actually do feel comfortable laying that same number 4 with Colorado.
Well, You use the word comfortable. And normally, I would say that you are spot on. But there's always this little thing at the brand that when it pops its little ugly head up, it has to give you pause. Oh, no.
Pause indeed.
B, what are you doing here?
Coach, I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing here. Look, everybody, go ahead, put your bandanas up because what we're doing is taking an NIT robbery here in just a minute, exactly as Chip laid out. Coach, I'll let you lay it out. But I wanted to say one thing. You spoke about the Vanderbilt-Belmont game, the Battle of Nashville tonight. Anybody that's familiar with Nashville, if you've ever been here, we wore the coach jacket on Demumbrian and in Midtown right by Vanderbilt, and entire bars, Slider House, Tin Roof, we're shouting coach's name in there. So I just wanted to give that shout out. But yeah, you've got a nice AB3 coming for you today.
And AB got 2 big checks from those places for announcing them on the show. Well done, AB. Sliding in a little side hustle there. What I meant, Chip, was that because of the AB3, AB has your back on the Colorado game. And that's never a good thing. That's never a good thing.
You're going to love it.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
And chat is saying that I need to check the site, but chat's saying that one of these picks is going against the Maestro, which you talk about something that's going to give you a pause. I mean, that's just like an absolute like 1980s like freeze frame. Like, like if you find out you're going against the Maestro, oh no.
Right now, Buckets is like 1980s. What's that? 1980s.
But listen, you know what we do is we trust the process. So I'm not going to waver. The pick is out. It's going to be on SportsLine too, and we're going to tip it up and see what happens in Boulder, Colorado.
Yeah, we didn't trust the process last night. Sixers couldn't hold a 19-point lead at home. All right, grab your paper. Right now, Martin Green is like, why am I on this show? Why am I on this show?
I used to live in Philadelphia, so I'm a vague 76ers fan, and I was appalled by what I saw.
Oh, we were too, because we were on the Sixers -2, so we're all appalled. Buckets, that means that we were not happy. That's what appalled means.
Thank you.
Okay. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here is the recap, courtesy of AB, and it looks absolutely glorious. The Guru, he's on Man U Atletico, both teams to score. Love the price at -105. Then Ajax to win and both teams to score. You put that together. Same game parlay, +125 instead of -270, -180. But we've got to get to at least 2-1. So there is a little bit of trepidation there. Lower the unit size just a hair. Then Buckets. He's on Sebastian Haller. Anytime goal, -135 in the Champions League. Then at 2 p.m. Eastern, France League Dos. Toulouse. Over 1.5 team goals, -130. Then Zach Attack. One play from the play-in games tonight. Texas Southern, -3. They will continue their good play that they ended the season with. Then Chip. One play from the NIT, one play from the play-in. Wyoming +4. Colorado. They played really good late in the season. They're a good team in the NIT. I think they could go a long way. Then one play from SportsLine. And if you're not a member yet, what in the world are you doing? You need to do it right now. You heard Martin already say it. He has an article at SportsLine. Buckets is always writing at SportsLine. Zach, Chip, you get everything for one very, very small price. So join us today and get March Madness. Then AB3, as he just talked about, +220, straight money line, straight NIT. Colorado, Oklahoma, the Sooners, and then Vanderbilt. All they got to do is win, put all three of those together. It's a nice little tasty +220 parlay. Man, today was fun. It's going to be a full day. It's going to be a full week. By the way, AB, do you have that graphic on our schedule? I don't know if you do or not, but we've got a busy schedule this week. Thursday, 2 different watch parties. 1:30 in the afternoon for the afternoon games. AB will host that because I'll be doing the Valspar. And then the evening watch party, 6:30 until about 11. I will be doing that. All the usual suspects will be there for about 8 hours. Thursday, same schedule on Friday. Why do we grind? Why do we do it? We do it for each and every one of you at home. So with that being said, there's only one thing left to do other than make my bed. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, I love them all. Chip, Buckets, Guru, and of course Zach Attack and AB Dial-Up putting it all together here at the brand with his boss, the jeweler. I am the coach. Tell all your friends, you want to have fun, you want to be educated, you want to be entertained, you want to feel included. That's what we do right here at the Early Edge. Good luck.